We got my man over here on YouTube. He's talking about Bland. My man James Richards. He says, besides the interceptions off bad throws, Bland hasn't been that good. Yeah. Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, he's made some good plays. Don't get me wrong. Some of these diving interceptions, the one he dove, I can't remember who it was against. He dove, intercepted, rolled around, and ran it back. That's a great play. But for the most part, Bland, not that great. Not that great. Tonight, who do we got? I got the Steelers. Now, I don't know if we can win. I think if the Steelers can run the football, I think the Steelers have a great opportunity to win the game. If the Steelers can run the football, and when I mean run it, I mean run for 170 yards. That's the number that I've put out there. They got to keep the ball away from Buffalo. Own time of possession. They got to run. Now, if they can run it, they got a shot. But if they're trying to throw the ball all over the yard and throwing incompletions left and right, because I think that Buffalo will be able to run the football. The Steelers' run defense isn't very good. We have no middle linebackers that are any good. They're all hurt and out. So we'll see what happens. No TJ Watt tonight. That's going to hurt. I mean, that's going to hurt. I've been trying to lie to myself and say that, oh, we got other guys that can step up. Yeah, I don't care who we got. Unless it's Myles Garrett, there ain't nobody that's going to come in and replace TJ Watt. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. They're going to run the football with James Cook. And I know people keep saying that they're going to play off Lenny is going to run the ball. Well, how many carries does he have on the year? Leonard Fournette. Either way, we got to keep the ball away from the Bills. If not, it's my prediction, and I'll tell you right up front, the Steelers will either win the game because they have been able to run the football and keep it away from Buffalo, or the Bills are going to blow the Steelers out. That's it. One or two things. I don't think it's a close Buffalo win. It's either going to be a Steelers close win or a Bills blowout. So that's my prediction. And the Steelers got to catch the ball when Josh Allen throws it to him, because he's going to throw it to him. You got to catch it. He's been throwing it to people all year. So we'll see. We will see. I like this new time slot, by the way. It's early in the morning. I know a lot of people can't catch, but I like the new time slot. I like it early. So I appreciate y'all showing up, especially on TikTok and on YouTube, man. And if you can't catch the YouTube show live, come and check it out later. Just subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. Tell your friend. We appreciate it. But I got the Steelers tonight. I'm hoping. I mean, as a Steelers fan, I'm not going to pick against us in the playoffs. I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not an idiot. So it is what it is. Now, what about this Bucs-Eagles game? I mean, let's just go over what's going on in Philadelphia. Their defense stinks. The back end of their defense can't stop anybody. They are terrible. Let's get that out of the way. They can't run the football anymore. Even when they were running it, their offensive coordinator is so bad that they stop running the football. A.J. Brown is out. There's reports A.J. Brown has been in Atlantic City. He's not even rehabbing. He just said, I'm done with the season. He's been in Atlantic City partying. Devontae Smith is hobbled. Jalen Smith is hobbled. Who gives the Eagles a chance to go win? I don't. I think the Bucs win the game. I don't know if it's going to be easy because the Bucs really still aren't that good. But I think Tampa wins. I think they win the game. So, yeah, A.J. Brown's not playing. A.J. Brown is not playing. So, my man Mike Yates on YouTube says you got to bring the pressure to Baker hard. Yeah, they do. They do. But have they been able to do that lately? That's the thing. What have they been able to do? What have the Eagles been able to do? So we'll see. We'll see. Who do the Lions want to play next? Who do the Lions want to play next? Well, I would say, Well, I think it's already been decided. I don't think there's a choice, is there? Because San Francisco plays the lowest seed. So, yeah, the Lions don't have an opportunity. They're going to play the loser of this game or the winner of this game because the Packers won. So the Packers are going to San Francisco. So, yeah, it doesn't matter who the Lions want to play next. Now, unless we're talking about between the two teams, I think the Lions would want to play the Eagles. Or I take that back. They would want to play the Bucks because I think they can manhandle the Bucks up front. That's because the Lions' offensive line is crazy good, and I think they would manhandle them up front. So that's, if I'm the Lions, that's who I want to play. That's who I want to play. Bills Steelers score prediction. Y'all know me. I usually don't do score predictions, but I'll do it today for the playoffs. Steelers 20, Bills 17. We get a late field goal by Boswell to end it. Josh Allen throws a late pick. Steelers run for 174 yards, keep the ball away from Buffalo, and they win the game. Getting to 30 points is, the Steelers have only gotten to 30 points this year, I think 3 times. And you're telling me they're going to do it in the snow, in the wind, in the cold? I don't think so. They're not getting to 30 points. They're not getting to 30. And you know what? I don't think we have to. And I say we because I've been a Steelers fan my entire life. And I'm just going to throw this out there while we're talking. Anybody that says we when they're talking about their team, if you spend $1 on merchandise, you can say we. So if you've ever bought a hat or a sock or a pencil, a backpack, anything that has to do with the team that you support, if you spent $1 on them ever, then you can say we. You can say we. So I say we when it comes to the Steelers. We got a shot. Let's see. What do we got down here? Darren Howard says, do you think the Texans are good at home in a dome? They have to travel the rest of the way to cold weather. That's a good point. Are they just good at home or are they just good in a dome? That might be a good point. We'll see what happens. Playing in cold weather is a different animal. It's a different beast. And no matter where they go next, they're going to go somewhere where it's cold. And that matters. That matters, people. That matters. So we'll see what happens. Somebody over here, Tommy on TikTok, saying when he dies, he wants the Cowboys to be his pallbearers so they can let him down one more time. The Cowboy fans are going through it today, people. They're going through it today. Now, they usually go through it this time of year when they make the playoffs and they choke, but they didn't think they were going to choke this year. They thought for sure they were going to get to the NFC Championship game. That's why Cowboys fans are going through it today. They knew that they were going to get there. They were going to have 2 games at home in the playoffs where they have dominated everybody this year at home. They knew for sure NFC Championship or bust. Well, it turned out bust. Bust. The Packers said, no, not today. The Packers just said, no, we're going to smack you around, and there isn't going to be anything that you can do about it. I love it. Here's a good question. Do you think Harbaugh will land with the Chargers. And how do you feel about the Bolts drafting Neighbors with the 5th pick? Great question, my man from the Prophet L. I think it's maybe Eli, but we'll just call you the Prophet. I think it's a great question. I do think Harbaugh lands with the Chargers, and I do think that they have to bolster up their receiving core because, they took the guy last year from TCU and he stinks. He can't catch a cold. But I think it would be best if they built up their defense. I think that's how they get better. They're not going to sign Khalil Mack. They're not going to re-sign him. Bosa got hurt. I think you got to build up the interior of that defense before they do anything. Because that's where the problems lie with the Chargers, is up the middle. That's where the Chargers' problems lie. Now, somebody said that Justin Herbert is the white Dak. No, he's not. He's better than Dak. He's better than Dak. You tell me you put Justin Herbert on that Dallas team that they're not better? Come on. But don't get me wrong. I'm not a guy that wants to just give all this praise to Herbert. I got to see it. Don't be losing 27-0 playoff games and letting teams come back on you. So I'm that guy. But at the same time, he's better than Dak. The people, they are going through it. Dallas fan, Dak right now, here we go to the basement. I love it. And again, as the president of the Dallas Cowboys, or not the president, the vice president of the Dallas Cowboys Hater Committee, I love that the Cowboy fans are going through it today. I love every second of it. I love it. Oh, Brian, you're just a hater. Oh, Big B, you're just a hater. Yes, I am. And it's okay to be. Everybody, it's okay to be a hater. There's haters with everything. You might as well admit it. And I admit it. I live in Dallas. I love today. Days like today are good for me. And I know that makes me a horrible person. Why would you bask in somebody else's misery? Because I'm a hater of the Dallas Cowboys. That's why. And I'm a hater of the Dallas Cowboy fans. That's why. Period. End of story. So all us Dallas Cowboy fans out there, or haters out there, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to be upset. If somebody says you're a hater, just say, yes, I'm a hater. And your team lost again. And move on. Just move on. Today, I know it's Martin Luther King Day today. And that should be respected. MLK Day is a great day in this country. And I don't want to diminish that. I don't want to diminish it. But the Cowboys lost. It's even more cause for celebration. Cowboys choked in the playoffs. MLK Day. Whoo. It's almost up there with Christmas, people. It's almost up there with Christmas. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm sure there's be some people, some idiots that say, how could you desecrate MLK? That's not what we're doing, people. This is a show. We're having fun. Relax. We're having fun. My man, Mike Yates. Let's talk coach free agency. Cowboys absolutely have to bring in Vrabel or Belichick. If they don't, it's a failure on Jerry's part. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Because we saw a lot of that last night and a lot of it again today where people are saying Coach Belichick is coming to Dallas. Now, why would he do that? Why would a 72-year-old come to Dallas where he's not going to be in control of the team? Where he's been in control for the last, 23 years? Why would he go to Dallas and let Jerry Jones still be in control? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Bill Belichick is a candidate to go to Dallas at all. Now, money talks. So enough money, people will do whatever. So I'm not here saying that there's 100% chance that Belichick doesn't go to Dallas. Because if they give him enough money, he's going to go. But logically, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, logically, it makes zero sense, actually. So, him having to beholden to Jerry Jones when he knows he's forgotten a million times more football than Jerry Jones is ever going to know. I don't see Bill Belichick putting himself in that position where he just came from one of the best owners and then going to one of the worst. And what I mean worst owners for Jerry Jones is an outstanding businessman owner. Outstanding. The best in the world at being a sports owner on the business side. On the football side, he's one of the worst because he meddles. He's the general manager. He won't get out of the way. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's got to stop. But he won't stop. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I think somebody said Jerry wants to be the GM, the coach. Jerry just needs to go be the coach. And I think when he fired Jimmy Johnson, that he probably wanted to be the coach, and the NFL wouldn't allow it. So I don't see Belichick going there. If I'm Vrabel, there's no chance in hell that I go to the Cowboys. You just came from a bad owner. There's no way in the world that I go to the Cowboys if I'm Mike Vrabel. I try to go to Seattle. I try to go to Atlanta. I would even try to go to Washington. But there ain't no way in the world that I go to the Cowboys. And it's not because the Cowboys is such a bad job. I think Vrabel's really good, but I think Vrabel needs to go someplace where he's got some control over personnel. You're not going to have control over personnel in Dallas. He needs to go somewhere where he's involved heavily. Mike McCarthy, he just, okay, give me the team and I'll just try to coach it. So that's what I think Vrabel should do. That's what I think. Good question, though, over on YouTube, man. Good question. So let's see. What else do we got? Let's see what we're popping over here on TikTok, man. TikTok says Bills Mafia. They are on me today. They want the Bills to blow out the Steelers. I don't blame you. I mean, I've been talking a lot of nonsense. I get it. So Stephen A is going off. You knew he was going to go off. And he should. We all should. Again, we love to hate the Cowboys. We love the Cowboys fan, the misery. We love it. I think Josh Allen is going to have some turnovers. I do too. We got to catch him, though. Texans versus Eagles. You think in the Super Bowl? Wow. I don't think there's a chance in hell that the Philadelphia Eagles make it past. Even if they win today, they ain't making it past next week. And there is no way they're getting to the Super Bowl. No way. But it is what it is. Bills by 40 today. Could be. If the Steelers can't run it, it could be. Bills by 50. Not 50. Stop. We're going to get embarrassed tonight. Maybe, but we don't play tonight. We play in the afternoon. Chiefs 49ers rematch in the Super Bowl. That's a good possibility. You think Detroit beats the Eagles? If the Eagles make it, which I don't think they will, but I think Detroit beats whoever they play next. I think Detroit's going to the NFC Championship game. I thought it was going to be tough for them to beat Dallas in Dallas, but Dallas ain't there. I think Detroit goes to – they're playing at home too? Yeah, I think Detroit goes to the NFC Championship game. I think Detroit is going. Some people say Harbaugh to Washington. I don't think Harbaugh would go to Washington. Even though it'd be close to his brother and their fans and all that could move. I just don't think that's going to happen. His parents could move close because apparently his dad lives across the street or next door to him. So we'll see. But I don't think he goes to Washington. I think he goes to LA. I think he goes to the Chargers. You got the quarterback in place. You got at least the left tackle in place on the offensive line. Everybody keeps talking about how good the defense is with the Chargers, which it's not. They're what were they 30th again? I mean, they're terrible. So we'll see how all that works out. But I think Harbaugh goes to the Chargers. And I think he's got to be the first domino to drop in the coaching, the coaching aspect. I think Harbaugh's got to go first. When he goes first, then I think other people will go, including Belichick. I don't think anybody's going to do anything until they know what Jim Harbaugh does. And then Atlanta will make a decision. Seattle will make a decision. New England already made a decision. All these teams are going to fall in line. And I'll be surprised if we don't hear later today that Mike McCarthy has been let go. I will not be surprised that before the Steelers-Bills game comes on, that Mike McCarthy has been let go of the Dallas Cowboys. I would not be surprised if we hear that before the game. So, and my thing is, hold on, Dan Quinn? Dan Quinn, if the Seattle Seahawks hired Dan Quinn, they're damn fools. Why would you want Dan Quinn as your head coach? Were you not paying attention to the football game that just happened? A defense that he was running? Were you not paying attention? Dan Quinn has no business being a head coach in the National Football League. No business. Teams wanted to hire him the last 2 years. He stayed in Dallas. Well, now he blew his chance, in my opinion, because we just watched your defense get embarrassed. Just watched them get embarrassed. So, no. If they hire Dan Quinn, they're not trying. They're not trying. And I don't know if we're done. Besides the Cowboys, are we done seeing head coaches get fired? Is there anybody else that you think that may get let go somewhere? Anybody else that you could think of? I mean, people are talking about Sirianni in Philly. I don't know. I think he's a bad head coach, but I don't know that. I mean, they still won 11 games and they went to the Super Bowl last year. How do you say you get rid of that guy? So, and yes, somebody just hold on. Lion fan said it. Dan Quinn already had a shot and blew it with Atlanta. I don't know about you guys, but answer me this. Are you all tired of just constant retread coaches in the National Football League? I get tired of it. I get tired of these guys that get fired because they're bad getting another chance. And I don't care who you are. I'm like, why do you got fired because you stunk? Why do you have to get another job? It was like in Carolina. Why did Carolina hire Frank Wright? Frank Wright got fired in Indianapolis because they were terrible. And he thought that bringing in veteran, washed-up quarterbacks was the answer. But then he got another job immediately. I'm like, okay. He didn't even he was there, failed. We don't care that he failed. We'll give him another chance. Versus a guy like Steve Wilkes. He didn't get a real fair chance in Arizona. He gets fired after 1 year to bring in Cliff Kingsbury. And that guy can't get another job? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it is what it is. I don't know who's going to take the Carolina job. That's why I didn't mention it. Somebody brought that up. Yeah, that's the worst job in sports. And then, yes, it's an NFL job. There's only 32 of them, and somebody's going to take it, and they could turn it around. But they have literally, in my opinion, the worst owner in all of sports. Tepper is the worst owner. He's the worst owner. So, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Somebody say Arthur Smith. to coach drivers at FedEx. I mean, I get it. Arthur Smith, he's making a name for himself despite who his father is. Hey, more power to him for that, man. More power to him. So the Steelers firing Mike Tomlin. I don't think they fire Mike Tomlin. I think they should trade Mike Tomlin. I don't think you can fire him. And look, y'all know me. I've been on the record saying that I'm done with Mike Tomlin. I'm tired of the mediocrity. I'm tired of constantly not winning playoff games. 7 years, no playoff wins. But how do you fire a guy by winning 10 games when you're on your third quarterback this year and all the injuries they had on defense and they still won 10 games? I don't think you can fire that guy, but you can trade him. You can trade him and bring in somebody else. I just don't think Pittsburgh's going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. And I'm going to be mad again next year because we're going to, again, be 9-8, 10-7. We're not going to win a game in the playoffs. We're not going to win the division. It's just, I've said this once, and I'll say it 100 times. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. Let me say that again. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. Because when you are mediocre, you're not getting better. You're not getting worse. You just stick around. The owners love mediocrity. Owners love mediocrity because you're just good enough for everybody to keep filling up the stadium, but there's not enough pressure for you to win. Because as long as people keep coming to the game, that's all owners really care about. I mean, yeah, they'd like to win, but as long as they just keep showing up, you keep buying merchandise, you keep buying concessions and parking and tickets, owners care about the bottom line more than anything else. And as long as you keep showing up, that's all they care about. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. As a fan, let me clarify that. As a fan, because as an owner, absolutely not. Mediocrity is your best friend. Mediocrity is your best friend. It's just like the owners have fooled the fans for all these years about being on their side when it comes to labor negotiations, contracts. They've got the fans fooled. And fans take their side religiously, which to me, I just don't understand. It's insane. But they're good at what they do. Thanks for the gift, by the way, man. On TikTok, we appreciate it. So, dude, in the NFL, each team gets a split of profits. So you're telling me that the Atlanta Falcons get a split of the Dallas Cowboys revenue? Please shut up. The only thing that they get a split of is television money. Now, don't come in here trying to embarrass me and tell me what